Hey, good evening, good morning, whichever it is you are. Welcome to Cask Strength.
Hey, everybody. What is this, episode 58?
Yeah, 58, whiskey and delicious things.
Indeed.
Very delicious things. I've got nibs. I've got cookies around here somewhere. I've got all kinds of snacky things.
So I've been doing some cooking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see? And I thought, what better dish to make than fairy bread?
Nice.
Oh my, nice. Yeah,
Very
that's an excellent choice.
Sprinkles are always a classic.
Yep. Is that a... Do you want to break down for the folks at home, just in case there is a different interpretation in Australia?
For sure there is.
Huh? What? That's fucking fairy bread. We invented the shit. Fuck off.
There you go.
There's always a difference.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, technically the Dutch invented it, but we call it fairy bread because we use the rainbow sprinkles, not the chocolate sprinkles.
Sure.
I'm having one of the most decadent and high-class treats. The finest of baked goods, the McCain Deep and Delicious marble cake.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh yeah. I'm pairing it with some Weller 107.
Nice.
Because I like to... Chocolate and bourbon for me have always really complement each other quite well.
Why is Vito eating despair and feelings?
But it's tasty.
That's the name of that ice cream, is actually Despair and Feelings.
Ben & Jerry's Despair and Feelings.
That's
Going with some Woodford Reserve to start.
terrible. I'm eating the Ben & Jerry's Netflix and chilled peanut butter and sweet and salty pretzel swirls and brown fudge brownies.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically should be called fucking weed. Fucking eat this after you smoke weed.
And I'm pairing it with the third edition Lot 40 Cask Strength.
Yeah, that's probably a really great bet, because the first tasting note I ever heard on that whiskey, which was probably amongst the first tasting notes ever given on that whiskey, was last spring. Quite a few months before it was even released at the masterclass, and that was Brad, who was sitting beside me, and he said French vanilla ice cream.
Yep.
And he was totally right. It was like one of those. There's only been about 5 or 6 times where I've been enjoying a whiskey and somebody had said a note and it just hits you like a punch in the face. You're like, yep, wow, that's exactly what that is. Like,
You were going to say it's only been 5 or 6 times that Brad has been right about a tasting. Which, I mean,
and three of those times
you are 2 of those 5 or 6 times for sure. One
happens occasionally.
Bubblegum, and the other was that French vanilla, and you nailed it because that was the essence of what it was. And yeah, it's a great you'll have to let us know how that pairs up there, Vito.
The pairing is fantastic.
These dibs with the Woodford Reserve is actually kind of amazing with the artificial cherry deal. Yeah, it's
yeah.
So I just got a bit of a message. I know it's about the time that we'd normally start, but I'm going to go throw my keys in a bowl and go deal with some other sweets.
I actually got a very similar invite. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to throw my keys into a bowl since my keys are my phone, but I guess see you at the After Dark probably.
See you, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Bye. I don't know what's going on there.
Throwing their keys into a bowl, man.
That's very rude of them to ditch us like that. They're gonna go hang out by themselves now.
Listen, if it involves putting keys into a fishbowl, I'm not gonna knock them for that. That's something you got to take advantage of. If you've never gone to a party where you put your keys into a fishbowl, give it a shot before it gets too late. I strongly recommend that. For me, regarding pairings of delicious treats and whiskey, almost all of them have been by accident or just not really planned. Like I didn't sit down and think, oh, this would be great with this, or this would be great with this, and then followed through. It was just something that I happened to be eating while having a dram, and then, you know, Dwyer's like, do you want this or something? And they've all been kind of just coincidental pairings.
Yeah.
Chocolate and bourbon is obviously a common one. Chocolate with many different whiskeys is fantastic, but what's that?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to tell the folks at home, because you already know this, but there's a chocolate factory at the end of my street.
Yeah.
And I have neighbors that work there, so I get tons of chocolate for free, and it's fantastic chocolate.
Let's talk about Tom right quick. He's asking us what we think of the Jameson Caskmate Stout Edition. Oh, he's new to whiskey and had some last night. Holy hell, it's nice.
Yeah, it is really good. Certainly for the price too.
Yeah.
The Caskmates editions, and I'm inevitably going to talk about the Bose edition in a moment, but the Caskmate editions are definitely unique. Not a large fan of is it IPA?
It's the IPA, yeah. Well,
IPA.
Yeah, their base IPA, not their because the Caskmate stuff that they do, they have a lot of regional variants, right? So the IPA that we're talking about is their core range release IPA, not like any sort of special craft sort of deal
so
that they do.
That I'm aware of, they've got the two core in the IPA and the stout that are distillery releases, and they're standard all around. The stout is fantastic, but the real hero in the Caskmates lineup for me is this particular Bose edition.
So that's an Ontario. Essentially, I think it's an Ontario exclusive.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite Irish. It's in my top 5 favorite Irish of all time, and I've had some really, really special Irish whiskeys. And so it's a banger. And for under $40, I think it was $34. This one, I think the stout is about the same, 34.
I think the stout's closer to 40 now. Actually, gone up, and everything's gone up in price in Ontario, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stout edition, it's a great neat drinker. It's great, a little bit chilled. It's amazing in White Russian, and it's fantastic if you use it if you make an Irish coffee in the morning. It's just an all around banger, to steal Roy's term. It's a banger. It's a banger of a whiskey.
Banger is a very old, commonly used term.
Yeah, but Roy says it all the time, and no one else really says banger of a whiskey. But yeah, it's a great all around solid Irish whiskey.
Yeah, so Ian says it seems like all the regional Caskmates are in USA or Canada at the moment, and hopefully they'll get some over there soon. You know what, Peter White? I was gonna suggest an episode on this, or maybe do a pre-recorded video. Obviously, you know me that I'm not a massive fan at 40%. There are lots that I do enjoy, like Redbreast 12-year standard is 40%. It's spectacular. Is it?
I think it's 43. Yeah.
40%.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was 43.
No, it's 40%. And
Ed's in the chat.
Irish whiskey can be spectacular at 40%, in my opinion, more than any other region. I'm really not a big fan of Canadians at 40%. I'm not a huge fan of bourbons or American rye at 40%. Not a lot of Scotch in here at all at 40%. But Irish, quite a few I have are at 40%, and they're delicious. That Bose, Connemara is 40%.
It's got to have something to do with the grain selection, or the the triple distillation that it's like that it's fairly good at 40.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's got that sweetness. Middleton Rare is 40%. Yeah, like there's some good 40% Irish there. So, and I think I do know what you were getting at, Peter. Not necessarily saying that it was bad, but it could be they could have made it a little.
Yeah, and that's what I'd say is that it's great at 40, but I'd like to see it a little bit higher. But if they never did, then I would be okay with it at 40 because it keeps the price pretty affordable just about anywhere, and like it's a constant. That's the bottle. That bottle, Jameson Caskmate Stout and Wild Turkey 101 are the two bottles of whiskey that I've bought multiple times. I'm like more than twice now.
Yep. Oh yeah. Dave's talking about James's Teeling single barrel. That is really nice.
I don't think I've tried it yet.
Yeah, and Ed knows what I'm talking about. There's a lot more good Irish 40%ers than other genres, and that's totally my feelings 100%. They really get away with it. It's definitely not one that I even look at the ABV a lot of the time because it usually doesn't factor in as much as other areas for me, at least.
What's for everyone in the chat, list out your go-to whiskey and delicious treat combo. Let's see what people are.
I'm gonna coat my mouth with this cake before I have a taste here.
Well, the cask strength, the Lot 40 cask strength in this has worked out beautifully. I could not be more happy with the way this turned out.
Oh my God, Patrick, bourbon milkshake. Oh my God, I think I might have to make one of those tonight. I've never done that. Patrick, is it better to use something high proof and bold to stand up to the milkshake, or use something like kind of nice and subtle? I've never done it before. I wouldn't know. Wouldn't have the first clue.
Weird, because you're a bourbon guy.
Yeah, but I don't mix, and when I do, it's like a whiskey sour, and then I want to use like the punchiest, boldest, high proof bourbon that I have to stand up to the citrus and the sweetness. But I've never mixed with ice cream or like a milk style product.
So
Bourbon
Jason,
apple pie.
Yeah. I let meat and cheese board.
Yep, for sure. And
I know he said meat and cheese board because who the hell knows how to spell charcuterie?
Charcut. ECBP and 95% dark chocolate. Yeah, so Peter, I usually have like right down below me, I got like 20-ish, 25, 27 pounds of chocolate, and a lot of it is high percentage, like very dark chocolate. And I always had some with bourbon, and it's spectacular with those barrel proofers. Lefroy quarter cask and dark chocolate. Yeah, I see dark chocolate coming up quite
specifically a lot. Lefroy quarter cask, and specifically my favorite go-to chocolate with that is salted caramel dark chocolate with the quarter cask is stupendous.
Yeah, there was a sea salt. I can't think. You know those chocolate that I can't think of. Dwyer. It's like a Swiss chocolate or something. It might even be Lindt, and they're like white with a different colored accent because there's all different kinds. And Walmart has like a massive display of them. I think it's Lindt. Yeah, they've got all different kinds. They've got literally 25 different kinds, and some are sea salt, some has like apricot, some is 75%. There's like multiple different grades of percentage of the cacao.
Ian. We're gonna do the whiskey and Weetabix.
Weetabix, yes.
We're gonna do it. We're still trying to figure it out with Jason. He's actually running. He's running a stream right now. He knows we're on at 8:00 on Thursdays, and this is like a couple of times now he's done this. I'm gonna have a stern word with him. Maybe steal his Weetabix or something. But yeah, we're gonna try and figure out a Thursday to do this. So it's gonna happen.
So again with the chocolate,
Yeah.
this time.
And here's the thing: is like and this is one of the only times.
Oh,
What happened?
it looks like our man Floydian picked up a box of Weetabix.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm not huge on drinking whiskey and eating things.
Me neither.
I don't strive to like try and pair foods and whiskey. I'll drink my whiskey separate, or like I'll deal with it, but I'm not gonna like, I don't know. I just don't find myself doing this often, and because I'm trying not to snack as much, like ice creams and chocolates and stuff like that. I try to stay away from them, not for health reasons, just because if I start, I can't stop.
Right.
But yeah, this is actually good to know that this ice cream and this whiskey work really well together.
Yeah. Anything kind of sweet with that chocolatey kind of influence on it for me, I love with bourbon. And as for what you were just saying about eating, like usually whiskey for me is definitely like the last thing that I consume before I go to bed that isn't water. Like it's an at night thing, and there's a lot of factors that combine that. It's not because I'm choosing to not have it with food or anything. Although, again, I really don't prefer it. It's not like wine for me.
Right. That's exactly it.
So I wait, until the kid's in bed and I can just relax and spend some quiet time and really explore a whiskey. And sometimes before a meal, if I want to, just kind of cleanse the palate and prepare the stomach for some digestion. I've always said that to my buddy too, who's a wine sommelier, not practicing currently. But I always joked around and said that whiskey is both an aperitif and a digestif. And he always used to laugh, but really, it's
why not?
In the eye of the beholder, and scientifically it might not be, but I find it works both ways.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's an after dark topic. So yeah, I'm gonna switch up. Actually, I have a small little pour left of this Canadian.
Tom. What type of scotches like Johnny Walker Red and Double Black is out there that your wife's go-to is Johnny Walker Red? So I'm assuming you want to find another whiskey to introduce to her, another scotch that she may like that isn't Johnny Walker Red. I can recommend.
No, that's like red.
I can recommend to you a lot that are slightly more expensive, but a heck of a lot better in my opinion. Along the same profile. It's yeah, I don't know. What would you say, Vito? Because I don't want to go blends because it kind of.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with blends because
no. I love blends. I've got tons here.
Most whiskeys are blends. So Johnny Walker. So she likes red. Her go-to is red. So he's saying red and double black. So there's a bit of peat there.
The double black does have a tiny bit,
right? So why not like Talisker 10, right? Or Bunnahabhain 12?
That's Talisker 10 is like what 3 times the amount of Johnny Walker.
He's in Australia, I think.
Yes.
So I don't know what the price is there. It's probably
people are saying Monkey Shoulder, and to be honest, it's a fairly inexpensive blend, and it is very easy and super friendly.
One thing that she'll miss out is the slight sort of smoky characteristic.
Not a bad suggestion from Peter at Highland Park 12. Both very reasonably priced, and Highland Park 12, in my opinion, for our area, is one of the best value scotches you can get.
Yeah,
and it is very subtle on the peat, but it is there. And I haven't had Johnny Double Black in a very, very long time.
Yeah, it's been probably about 2 years since I've had the Double Black.
That's another one. Oak Cross from Compass Box, a fairly readily available and fairly inexpensive blend.
Yeah, the great Glasgow Street Blend from Compass Box is good too.
Tom, I'm gonna go out and suggest that maybe I don't know if it's down there how expensive it is. Something like maybe like a Deanston Virgin Oak, which is not a blend, but it is a very, very friendly, very delicious, very reasonably priced Scotch. That she really might enjoy, because Johnny Red is very simple and friendly, but there's some notes in there that I think are don't go so well with the rest of the profile, if I can say.
Yeah, I get it.
And
I was gonna say Bemore 18 as well, but then I remembered like the cost, and I was like, but Bemore 18 is wonderful, I think.
Yeah, I will. Sweet treat. Yes.
Oh, Donald's joining us late. We're doing sweet treats and whiskey pairings. So I poured myself some Lagavulin 11, the Nick Offerman edition, to see how it would pair with the ice cream.
Babe, is there any way that you would scoop me out a cone into a bowl? You gonna be okay?
What happens to the
I got ice cream in my mustache.
I just broke Dwyer. I asked her if she would scoop some. We have like Chapman's like cones, frozen cones. And I asked her to scoop some of the ice cream out into a bowl, so I'm not sitting here like having an ice cream cone trying to talk. And the look she gave me, like she's broken, she doesn't understand. She stares at me blankly, and after a few moments of not saying anything, says, "What's gonna happen to the cone?" I'll eat it after, Dwyer. So to pair with this ice cream I'm about to have, I'm gonna rock some Little Book Chapter 2, which is a whiskey I always associate with like a nice after dinner dessert, kind of really, really nice. This is the Glengoyne 21 of rye and corn spirits for me. You know what I mean? Like this is that dessert holiday time. Just really nice. Oh, they're split like that?
Yeah.
Chocolate, man. Rock and roll.
I just had to block one of Jeremy's comments for mentioning the unmentionables.
Really?
Yeah.
And I missed it?
You missed it, and it will be missed again.
Doesn't he have override?
No, I don't think so. Not from there. I don't know why we can't adjust the amount of time to be like muted, but it's 5 minutes.
That's a long time to try and keep an Australian under muzzle.
Yeah, he's gonna show up here. I'm gonna have to like be quick on the mouse for because he's gonna try and come in here and say something, or he'll probably just kind of come in and kick me off because you
asked for it, man.
Whatever. I can just get back on. So
Peter White, yeah, the Little Book Chapter 2 is spectacular. Really, really tasty. It's one of the yes, I don't need the cone in it, but thank you.
I'm not just.
I gotta poke my eye out on this thing. Just put it on a little plate or something for me.
I don't know if I don't know if I've ever had dark orange chocolate before.
Then dark orange. I am not big on orange chocolate, which for a British person is fairly uncommon.
Yeah, I've never had it before. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. I like my chocolates simple, high percentage, and dark.
What's the best? Have you ever had an accidental pairing that was super good and you're like, whoa, this is super good together?
No.
Never, not once, eh?
Maybe, but not enough that I remember it.
Then it wasn't that striking of a moment.
Yeah. Because I'm sure that I've been like kind of blown, but it's probably more like charcuterie stuff, like cheese, and this might sound weird, but like I don't pay attention to the cheeses that I eat. Really, I just eat the cheese.
I just got to go back here. Dave wrote 128 Canadian. Is that for Bowmore 18?
That seems kind of low for Bowmore 18.
It could be, yeah. We were talking about a few back then, but Dave, if that, I guess we do have the internet in front of us.
Yeah, I'm checking right now
because that's unbelievable for an 18-year-old Isla. That's incredible value. Yeah,
140. No, it's 149.70. Oh, he's looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I wonder like shipping and everything like that. But anyways, it's still at 150. It's still great.
I've never heard of that particular Amrit, Peter, but every Amrit I've had has been delicious. Specifically, the last one we had at Dave.
The double cask.
Oh my god, it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
so good.
Amrit double cask 48%, 46%.
There was so many people wanted that at the end of the night, including myself, that I decided not to, just so Dave would at least have some after, because everybody wanted some of that to take home.
Dave got his 2 bottles from the LCBO for 128. Yeah, so it's gone up in price in the LCBO. It's 149 now. Of course.
Ian, that pairing of Maltesers and Glenfiddich XX or 22 or 20 or whatever
I think they wanted you to call it 20
because it had the 20 different
20. Yeah, 20. No, it was 20 different. There was 20 ambassadors that each picked a barrel for the blend.
Okay. And that nutty flavor that it pulls out in the whiskey is actually one of the main things that I like about having chocolate and bourbon, because that nutty note in the bourbon kind of comes out more of a peanutty note. But that's what I really enjoy. Should try the Amrit rum cask. Fantastic at 8 years old. Wow. Loch Lomond 18 at 109 at the LCBO. Great value, and peaches for days. Awesome. Dark chocolate truffles and Coloman Machier Bay.
That would make that would work.
So right away, we're looking at like 75% chocolate pairings from the folks at home, and that's, again, I was expecting that. It's a very common. How good was that Lot 40 and the ice cream though?
Oh, it was fantastic. And so it was Lot 40 Cask Strength 3rd edition and Ben & Jerry's Netflix and chilled ice cream. My stomach is gonna hurt tomorrow from all of this ice cream. I'm almost done. Like, I haven't stopped.
Did you eat that whole container?
Mm-hmm.
From fresh?
Just about.
Dude, I would be completely and utterly.
Half an hour, 3/4 of a tub gone. I told you, once I stop, I can't. Once I start, I can't stop. And this is why I don't have ice cream ever or like treats.
Yeah, you definitely are the kind of guy that should not go to grocery shopping after you smoke some cannabis.
Oh no, forget that. I should not be allowed to go shopping, period, because I shop with my stomach, not with my mind. It's like, oh, you know, I'll go and be like, okay, I'm just gonna go grab some onions, some garlic, and some and a couple of veggies, and I walk out like $80 later with like slight like salami and chicken breast and bread and like frozen pizza. It's just like I'm just a mess when I go shopping. Jason saying Walmart brand coconut, cashews, and Michter's America is pretty magical. Peter, it doesn't matter if I eat before I go grocery shopping. I'm just a mess. That's how I shop.
Vito, if you hop into the Owls chat, Dave PM'd the Amrit info and
okay, let me try and okay, 1 second. I can do this. I can do this, guys. All right. I got to flex my tech skills. We don't have a producer anymore. He's always busy with his orgies. Are you frozen, Dan? Dan's frozen. Uh-oh. Or am I frozen? Uh-oh. Is it me? Guys, who's am I talking? Or did Dan freeze? Oh, yeah, Dan froze. All right, guys. So I'm just going to get a picture because I guess, for science. Of the Amrit cask, Amrit bottle that we had that we want to talk about, I guess. I'll wait for Dan to get back on here before I show it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so again, the peated scotch and this whiskey, the peated scotch and this ice cream is wonderful. The peat lingers nicely, and the chocolate and the saltiness from the pretzels really, really work well together. It's almost like half a charcuterie board because you have like the salty pretzels or salty nuts from that, with obviously the dairy creaminess of it's not cheese, but it's that creaminess of the ice cream play really well with the Isla. And Dan's back.
Yeah, I should have known better than to open up another application on my computer while I was running.
No problem. All right, so here's the Amrit double cask that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, so good. This is definitely in my top 3. It might be the best non. What do you call the main producers? Like, is there a group? Do we call it like the Big Five or something? Scotland, Ireland.
No.
Japan, USA, and Canada?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't think because Indian whiskey is like some of the top selling whiskey in the world.
It is. It's the top. All the like 8 of the top 10 most selling
are Indian whiskeys.
Are all Indians, but
by sales volume,
it's still not really considered a main region, I think. In that, like, if you go to most stores, the way they have it set out, there's not really an Indian section, at least up here in the LCBOs. And generally speaking, you know what I mean? I think that there is Scotland, Ireland, Canada, USA.
I think for the general public, they know where to go. I don't think there's a name for it.
Anyways, that's my favorite outside of like the top 5, because there's many other countries out there. Obviously, Thailand has some spectacular. Yeah, Dave's right. Yeah. Like, it's such a small percentage, but even at 1% of their all whiskey being great, that's still a ton of whiskey. But there's a lot of really poor Indian whiskey, and I've heard that from quite a lot of people. Actually, one time. On the way home, Dave, from one of your tastings in an Uber, my driver was talking about whiskey and stuff because, we get into the Uber leaving Dave's house and we have like suitcases and like we're wheeling out like hand carts and boxes and stuff. And what's all that clang? And I'm like, it's whiskey. It's like, oh, you like whiskey? And then, you know, it starts the whole conversation for the whole way home. But he was saying that like almost all the whiskey, all the Indian whiskeys has been really bad. And it's kind of one of those situations, from what I understand, that not a lot of their good stuff stays in country and a lot of it takes off. So, yeah, Patrick, that's another thing I was going to say. The Paul Johns is massive over there. And yeah, Amrit is definitely the hallmark Indian whiskey for the most part in a lot of people's eyes, for sure.
Yeah, Peter saying the Spectrum 04, Porto Nova. He was talking about the Porto Nova with me on one of our happy hours. And the immediate sherry, which I had a small heel of, given to me by Rob, which I think made its way, I think, from Peter to Jeremy to Rob, or somewhere in there. That was really, really good as well. But yeah, Amrit hasn't disappointed me yet with any of their offerings. And Greg's finally joined us. Hey, Greg, what's going on? Oh, I think this might be a good opportunity to let everybody know, if you hadn't seen our post on the YouTubes, because we're over 1,000 subscribers, we can actually post written sort of announcements. And I don't know how like the algorithm, if it shows up for everybody, but I have officially finished editing a video, and we're going to be doing.
Not that kind of video, people.
Not that kind of video. It's very much rated PG, I think, or PG-13. I think there's some swearing. I didn't keep track of all the swear words, but I think what we're gonna do. I want to hear when people are most available, like during the day. I might do it like tomorrow night, but I want to do a premiere of this video and see what everyone's feelings are about it. I'm not gonna give away any sort of clues right now of what the video's about, but it's a little bit of a trip down memory lane for me, and I think people might enjoy it, at least for like just the visuals, because it's kind of funny to watch. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do a premiere either tomorrow night or maybe Monday early evening of this video. So kind of keep a lookout. Hit the little bell button, by the way, so that you know when we go live.
Yeah, hit the bell, folks. If you already haven't, then come on now. What are you doing? Jason, F you.
That's 5 our time.
Anybody that mentions Iron Root is.
Oh, sorry, I didn't scroll up.
Shocking! Vito didn't scroll up. I am shocked.
Yeah. What goes good with Iron? I don't know. That's a question for Josh, but I think
he answered. Stop! Pay attention. He answered himself.
Oh, everything.
It was a rhetorical question, but that is a good question. For the brothers Licorice.
I should reach out, or one of us should reach out to Robert, but he's probably so busy lately.
Yep. LCBO had a bourbon cask that was blown out at $45 Canadian a few years ago. I'm guessing you're talking about Amrit, Peter. That's crazy.
Probably.
Did you get to try that, Peter? If so, how was it?
Ed only watches videos at 3 a.m. This is not the what was that old TV channel that had like the softcore stuff really late at night?
Like every channel past channel 45?
No, Showcase.
Oh, yeah, like Red Shoe Diaries stuff.
That's what Ed. I could see Ed watching that when Erica's gone to bed and he's just sitting alone drinking his prestige whiskey, out of a jug. Just him watching some softcore action. You sicken me, Ed.
Peter says it was fantastic but hot. So that's my kind of jam. I can dig that.
Oh, Tom has a good question. What's the difference between rare breed and Wild Turkey 101?
So 101 is 101 proof or 50.5%, and rare breed is barrel proof. So it comes right out of the barrel and goes into a bottle. I believe they filter it, but only a mechanical filter. It's not like a charcoal or anything. Yeah. It's just a simple screening filter to remove any barrel particles. But that's basically the difference.
Yeah, the mash bill is the exact same for almost all turkey products. So it's just
for their standard, standard stuff,
for the standard release.
So, Tom, if you have the option for both, they're both fantastic whiskeys and both respectively in their price range amongst the best you can buy for bourbon, in my opinion. Up here where we are in Ontario, the Rare Breed is unbeatable at its price for a cask strength bourbon, because we just don't have that many cask strength bourbon that are available on our shelf. And when they are available, they're rather expensive.
Peter's saying the Rare Breed is the Rare Breed is chill filtered.
Yeah, Russell's Reserve single barrel is delicious. I only ever had about a half ounce of it, but it's delicious.
Here, okay. So, what flavors can you expect out of them, Tommy? Great flavors, typical bourbon flavors, but there's a lot of like interesting dynamics between them. I'm not going to spoil the 101 because that's actually part of the video that I'm going to premiere most likely tomorrow night. So tease, watch the video that I release tomorrow.
I'm going to see if I have, I should have Rare Breed in my journal, and I can just refer to that. But it's a super, super tasty bourbon. You get all the classic vanillins that you would, a little bit of cherry, definitely a lot of oak on the Rare Breed. And it all comes together really, really nice. It's not as punchy as you would think at the proof. There is Knob Creek single barrel.
It's fantastic.
Is really good.
I personally prefer the Knob Creek single barrel to the Rare Breed. But that's just because I just profile. I actually like the 101 better than the Rare Breed.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, the 101, the Wild Turkey 101 is probably my favorite turkey product that I've had. I haven't had like the Rare Nation. Is that what it's called? The single cask nation or any of
that? I have a feeling that's going to set a mark.
Yeah.
But like all the reviews that I've read on that put it way higher than most.
Yeah, but the Donald, see you later, buddy. But most of the out of all the turkey products that I've had, the 101 is my favorite. I actually think I prefer the Russell Reserve over the Rare Breed as well. I have to go back and revisit both of them. But I'm just from recollection, I think I recall liking that better.
Yeah, the thing with the Knob Creek single barrel is I've had two very distinct opposing profiles on that. I've had one that was like the most peanut buttery, nuttiest peanut butter notes I've ever gotten from any whiskey, and then I had another one that was just a lot more sweeter, like almost no peanut notes on it. Neither were bad by any means, but they were very differing. So maybe I'll try another shot at one of those and see if I can get one of these chocolatey notes.
I've never had I've never found chocolate out of the Knob Creek single barrel.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the one I have is very waxy, very peanutty.
Yeah, so. I have the other one. I have both for that specific purpose to show the differences between the two. So I'll make sure that you get a pour of that. Somebody was mentioning the Kentucky Spirit, Jason. Yeah, Kentucky Spirit's great. So Kentucky Spirit is a single barrel 101, and it is great. It's delicious. You're obviously getting a little more character that single barrels offer, as opposed to the blended 101. And they're just not that available anymore. They used to be fairly readily available up here, just not so much anymore. Since we are talking about it, and I love showing it off.
Yeah, go get it.
This is one I can't wait. We'll have to do this and wait. This will be our celebratory first pop open when things get. I
can't wait for this to be over. So distilled by Wild Turkey Distillery, aged 9 years in new charred American oak, cask number 18-428, Rickhouse A-CN, 4th floor, distilled December 2009, bottled March 2019, one of 150 bottles, bottled at 57.05% ABV. For those that so heavy on rich.
Heavy on the rich note.
Heavy on the rich.
You feel like spending money after you drink this.
Yeah,
that's one that Peter, that came from the States. The distillery only releases those via lottery. Yeah, Mike, I've been saving it to be with the crew all together. It was and Woody and Rich.
giggity.
Adam Brudner, our good friend, actually helped me out getting that through one of his connections, and it was really, really awesome. It's definitely one of the most special bottles for me, not just because it's rare, but because Turkey is actually the whiskey that is responsible for me getting into whiskey years back, and that's just regular Turkey 81 bottom line Turkey.
I have a single cask nation from. I didn't realize that, Mike, you gave me a sample of 9-year-old Turkey single cask. Yeah.
What's the percentage on it?
57.05.
You're kidding me, dude. That's the same barrel. We have 2 of the same cask whiskeys from 2 completely different sources now. Of the same, like we've got the 31-year-old Kalila.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
from
right.
the same barrel that we both got from different sources, and we have the single cask nation from the same barrel that we got from different sources. And when in the whiskey world, 150 bottles is really fucking small.
Yeah.
Like that's a minimal amount of. There's people out there that buy 50 fucking bottles at a time.
And leaves none for us
poor people that just want to drink one. People would rather sell 50 than let somebody drink one. That's a 3-hour episode one day of me just ranting about secondary.
Why not? We'll make a nice catchy head thumbnail, and you just.
Oh yeah, dude! If you put bourbon secondary market, the hashtag on that will probably be the most friggin' viewed video we have. Those poor suckers will just find me.
We're one of the only channels I think that hasn't made a video that went viral yet.
We're not in it for the fame, people.
No.
Okay,
we're here to drink whiskey and spill ice cream over ourselves.
That's right. This is basically the Heaven Hill Ardbeg cask. I want that so bad. Is that the no. Yeah. Is that the North Star?
What, the Ardbeg cask?
I believe North Star has a Heaven Hill that was aged in an Ardbeg cask. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
So I want to give a preview for tonight's Cast Strength After Dark, which I hope everyone shows up to. Vito got some special treats that's legal in Canada, not legal in some other countries. So I expect to see everybody in the chat and watching me just spiral out of control.
Excellent. Quite excellent.
Yeah.
It's nice to be Canadian. Meth. Oh, that's awesome.
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
Well, you and Puffs and Drams can just hang out for a while. Jason Busey, yes, as a matter of fact, I have some right behind me. Me and Vito split a bottle.
I think it was a 3-way split, if I'm not mistaken. And I got the bottle.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by it really.
You know what? Revisiting it, do you remember when you poured it for me and it was my second guess?
Yes,
When
that's
we were
right.
back here, it's very distinct. It's so musty.
Yeah.
Like it's super, super musty. And I really like that. But I found myself in the past while really enjoying whiskeys that don't necessarily really fit right in with flavors that I really enjoy as to being unique and standing out.
It's definitely unique. I won't say that it was bad. It just didn't do it for me.
Oh my god, Vito's gonna be up all night. What are you doing, man? Digging. You think you're gonna get there? Oh, see, Vito doesn't even get this reference. Vito doesn't get the reference. Vito didn't get the reference of my awesome beverage that I'm drinking tonight.
No, but I will probably end up. I will probably end up cleaning the house. I gotta wash the floors.
What, Jason? That's awesome, buddy. That would be pretty nice.
Oh, okay, I can see that being really good.
Yeah, I did like it.
I love a good whiskey sour. Oh,
it's the only
so good
mixed beverage with whiskey that I will order like on purpose and purposely get myself and drink. Like if someone brings me a some type of whiskey weird thing like a you know, I can't even name them, but like an old fashioned, not by choice, but a whiskey sour I really like. Pardon me, I'm massive citrus.
that was so quick.
And true.
Yeah.
Quick and true. I love a whiskey sour. I love it, especially when it's made not like with the super cheap like bar mix, like when there's a little bit of love in there with like maybe a real lime or something, makes a big difference. But that corn dog stand, although not a corn dog guy, I would probably hang around for the smoke and see whiskey sours.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like it, Jason? The smoke and see.
So for puffs, Steve, I'm gonna eat one because I had one last night and it hit me probably within about half hour, 40 minutes, and it gave me about 2.5 hours. And again, I haven't actually gotten high in quite some time, so I don't foresee it being a constant thing. But I'm gonna just eat it just before we go live on After Dark, so about 9:50, 9:55, and then we'll see what kind of ridiculousness I end up saying.
That's how much smoke and see I have left. That's an 8 ounce.
Yeah, Jason says it's super delicious.
I like it. I really like it. It's Jason, we were back here one time, me and Vito. I don't know, were we streaming when that happened?
No.
So anyways,
oh no, yes we were. Oh no, I think we were.
We might have been.
We were, because Roy was in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a lot, especially like basically behind me there. Like there's a lot of shit to choose from, and
I'm drooling right now.
It was my second guess, so definitely one of those that is very distinctive because I have a lot of bourbon, I have a lot of rye, and truth be told, I'm the first to admit at a blind test, I can tell you that that's bourbon or that that's rye, but I'll never be able to tell you like which bourbon or which rye it is unless it's really one of those standouters. And the smoke and see was my second guess. My first guess was actually the Crown Royal bourbon mash because it's very similar in that mustiness. And we were on a bit of a Canadian talk, so I thought that maybe he went for that because we had just tried it before, and I thought he maybe tried to fool me. Yeah, and Erica knows what she's talking about, so.
I never claimed to know what I'm talking about.
You're wrong in not liking the whiskey that you like.
Never claimed to be an expert or a professional. Only claimed to be a professional.
The corn dog stand also makes an amazing double cheeseburger with homemade tots.
God damn it.
Sounds like a nice
drooling.
Sounds like a nice spot.
Drooling. All right, so as we wind down to the hour mark, make sure that we all pop over to the Rock Gut Review channel for their live. They're talking mental awareness, because it is mental health awareness month. So hop on over for a good conversation. I may or may not be going on. I'm not too sure. I think Ed gave me the okay, but I'm just gonna wait for the link, because I'm gonna discuss my story with them.
Oh, this is gonna be good. You're gonna talk about mental health after you just wolf down a fucking edible.
No, I have no. The edible comes after.
Oh, my bad.
Jason's I am mental but unaware. Yeah, so let's pop on over to Ed's stream, and then at 10 o'clock back over here for the chaos that is the Cast Strength After Dark, and yeah, and we'll have some fun on that. Are you gonna be around for that, Dan?
I have to see how it goes here at
No
the.
problem.
I gotta literally play it up to like minute by minute, but
No problem,
definitely want to, because it's such a nice, awesome time, and I don't get much of that. It's my only chance to drink whiskey with people, because although I did have a dram over like a 35 foot 40 foot distance the other day, and it was all right, but it's not the same. I don't need to yell here to you guys. I can just talk like this. Thank you for tuning in, folks. I'm going to mix this 107 and this Little Book Chapter 2 together, and
very nice.
See where the rest of the night leaves me.
Very good. Okay, so yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Don't have to comment. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Means a little bit to us. It means more that you're here talking with us, but it means a little bit as well to throw some like. It helps with the YouTube algorithms.
And algorithms are stuff we do care about here at Cask Strength.
Oh, we absolutely. I care about them so much that I have gray hair. Just thinking about all the algorithms.
2 weeks ago, that was a full head of dark black hair. And my head was bald 2 weeks ago.
It's really growing.
Dude, you have no idea. That's so weird having hair this long. It's so weird. But, you're Italian and from Ontario, so you probably had this haircut for at least a year.
I actually never had that haircut. I never rocked the.
Oh, good for you, sir.
Yeah, I never rocked off. In grade 5, I got my ear pierced, and my frosted like front hair that you'd like gel down and then flip up the top front.
Holy fuck. You were definitely the opposite of the person that I would be hanging out with in grade.
And then I had it was dyed just on the front, and then I moved from that into like soccer hair where it was like kind of like streak dyed and held back, and then I went through like a buzz phase in grade 9, and then I started growing my hair out completely like metal, like rocker style, until like first year university.
I had a shaved head for basically my whole life until I had the haircut, like that standard like brush cut that you saw before the COVID. My
cousin, her when we were growing up, I never had the same haircut whenever I would see her. Like I would see her multiple times a year, and I would never have the same haircut. So she would always be like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of haircut you have, like, the next time we see it, the next family function or whatnot." And it was always different, and I always kept on changing it up. It's a good time having a hair.
It was a good time having hair.
It was a good time. And with that, we'll call it a night. And cheers to everyone.
PSA.
Oh, go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you do happen to have Little Book Chapter 2 and you do happen to have Weller Antique 107, do not mix them. Don't do it. That's my PSA for the day.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, cheers, everyone. Sláinte.